Seiya Suzuki has been posted. It is today. It is going down. He is going to have until December 22nd to get a deal done. And if he doesn't get a deal done, he'll go back to his team. There's a lot going on. There is money. There's math. There's all of this and all that about how much. And listen, let's not worry about that right now. We can dive into that when we get a group of teams, when we get teams battling, when we start hearing numbers. Right now, we don't know anything because he's being posted today. But we do know he's a really good player. We know that he's got a lot in there. We're going to take a look at his swing. Just absolutely murders the ball. And what I like about this swing is that it's compact. There's not a lot of crap around it. There's not a lot of herky-jerky. There's not a lot of movement before. It's a nice, solid swing. I know it's not like Mike Trout's swing, but it reminds me just a compact frame. The hands move with a purpose to hit the ball and not look cute before or after or during. I like Suzuki, so we see him murdering a ball right here. And again, we take a look at everything about the hips, the wrists, the arms, the line from the head to the front foot. It looks beautiful. So Suzuki looks like a beast, and we take a look at him over and over here. And on top of that, we've got his stats. He's got last year a 38 homer season, an OPS over 1,000 for the last couple of seasons. Came up big in the Olympics with a couple of hits in the gold medal game. So Seiya Suzuki looks like he is the real deal, and he's going to do something big for somebody. Now, the question is, where is Suzuki going to wind up? And that is where, to this point, for now, we are going to have to trust the insiders on where that may land. John Heyman was on Hot Stove this morning talking about how Suzuki could wind up on a West Coast team. Didn't expect the Angels to get into it because they're bats. You understand the pitching is the focus for the Angels. So where could Suzuki actually land? And you know what? Since it's kind of Seiya Suzuki Day, let's take a look at some finalists. I got 4 finalists for Suzuki. I do think Seattle. I think the Giants will get in the mix. I think the Mets will become a player. And I think the Blue Jays will become a player. Remember, the Blue Jays were a player for Ha-Seong Kim. They were a finalist for Kim. The only reason why that deal didn't go down is the Blue Jays were not willing to offer a no minors deal. That's why Ha-Seong Kim went to the Padres. Ha-Seong Kim went to the Padres and barely played, but he didn't have to go to the minor leagues. The Blue Jays were one of the final teams for Kim, but would not offer that in the contract. This is a kind of player where you don't need to offer that. He is going to be ready. We're talking about, listen, the comparisons, right-handed Hideki Matsui are there. There's a ton of upside here. There is more, in my opinion, polish and readiness for this guy than maybe there was for Ha-Seong Kim. Mark seeing that the Braves are interested. You could see the Cardinals, Miami. There's a lot of teams that could get in the mix. These are my final 4. Certainly in the days ahead, we will start hearing news because teams will get into it. But from the start, it feels like Seattle, San Francisco, the Mets, or the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, again, I think there will be links to most players, and they always seem to get in on the international market. So I think the Blue Jays will be there. I think Seattle will be there. The only thing that could prevent Seattle from being there is their current situation. Seattle rolling with, J-Rod very soon. You got Kyle Lewis. You got Kelnick. You've got Haniger, who probably shapes up to be a DH at this point. And then you still have Taylor Trammell looming out there. So a lot of pieces for Seattle to figure out. There's not really much room. Now, this guy does have a little bit of versatility. You can move him out of the outfield, bring him to the infield. So maybe Seattle could work out in that fashion. San Francisco, we know, needs to add some pieces, and they're one of the West Coast teams that I think could get into it. And the Mets. I think the Mets are going to be very, very aggressive. So where do you have him signing? Comment below. Comment live in the chat. Where do you see Suzuki going? I'll give you my post. I'm going to eliminate one by one. Ultimately, I think the Giants bow out. I don't think the Giants get into the mix. The Mariners, I think the Mariners are out because, again, They don't have right now. They don't have anywhere to put him. When I'm making decisions, when I'm making predictions, I'm thinking about what's cleanest. It's not a clean pickup in Seattle. So between the Jays and the Mets, here we go again, right? Here we go again. Jays or Mets. I'm going to go with the Mets. I think he ends up signing with the Mets. I think they make a big splash. They could use the outfielder. The Mets for Suzuki feel like a move. It's not a West Coast team. That's the very first thing we heard out of John Heyman's mouth when he was talking about Suzuki, was that it could be a West Coast team. So I'm going completely upstream from what Heyman's talking about being a West Coast team. I do think it could be a West Coast team, but I will go with the Mets. I think they make a move. This is a big bat. It's a major market. I think it ends up being Suzuki and the Mets. Michael Montas, that is the earliest word is that it's West Coast. But when I start looking at the West Coast team, the Angels aren't going to do it. The Mariners outfield is already full. I don't see the Giants doing it. They have so much money that they have to spend on pitching. I don't think the Dodgers are a realistic play here. So, I mean, San Diego maybe, but again, it's not clean for San Diego. When I talk about where teams could go, where players could go, I like a clean path, okay? San Diego has a lot that they have to do. They're going to have to move Myers. They would have to move Hosmer. There's too many pieces that they have to move that makes it a little bit more of a clunky situation. Not as easy to see the path to San Diego. It's an easy path to the Mets right now. Sure, it's the other coast, but you have a team that needs an outfield player. They could use that, and I think it works. Correa family, yeah, that is the play. Like I said, today I'm going completely against the grain, upstream on the whole West Coast talk. I'm picking Mets for today, and we'll see where it lands. I mean, can't you see Cohen absolutely backing up the truck to get this guy? You can see it, right? I mean, come on. If you're going to lose Conforto, the way to ease the fan base is to go get Suzuki.